Look at you. Hey, welcome to a late show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Folks, we broadcast this show from New York City from a storage closet in the Ed Sullivan Theater. But that storage closet itself is inside a larger area I like to call reality, a place our Republican brothers and sisters have chosen to no longer inhabit, especially when it comes to the 2020 election, their lie that it was stolen, and the inevitable aftermath, the January 6th Capitol riot. One refugee from reality is House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, seen here auctioning off his integrity. To investigate the Capitol riots, Nancy Pelosi has, for months, been trying to put together a bipartisan commission similar to the 9/11 Commission. McCarthy demanded the Republicans have equal representation and equal ability to subpoena witnesses. Well, last week, the Democrats said, okay. And today, Kevin McCarthy announced that he opposes a bipartisan commission on the Capitol riot. There you go. Motto for 9/11 was never forget. For January 6th, the GOP is going with forget about it. Make no mistake, McCarthy opposes this commission because he knows what they're going to find. That the Capitol riot was perpetrated by his party's followers at the behest of a president he supported based on an election lie McCarthy himself helped spread. It's the same reason I oppose my wife's bipartisan commission on who ate the last slice of pizza. Evie, it is time for America to move on and order another pizza. Another reason McCarthy is, I'm not going to pitch in because I don't really want to eat any. Another reason McCarthy is against this is that he could potentially be called as a witness, because on January 6th, McCarthy called President sweet and sourin' and begged him to call off the MAGA mob, but instead the prez replied, well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are. Yet, McCarthy still defends him. Forget the riot. We need a bipartisan commission to find Kevin's balls. Obviously, McCarthy can't just issue an official statement that says, I heart the coup. So instead, he came up with a bunch of bogus excuses why his opposition was all Nancy Pelosi's fault, like, for months, the Speaker of the House refused to negotiate in good faith, and while the Speaker has wasted time playing political games. Yes, political games. Pelosi's playing chess while the GOP is playing a dangerous game of Nazi. But McCarthy's core pretend reason for opposing the investigation is that the commission ignores the political violence that has struck American cities, a Republican congressional baseball practice, and most recently, the deadly attack on Capitol Police on April 2nd, 2021. Sure, everyone knows you can't investigate one crime without investigating every other crime. It's the premise of the new Dick Wolf series, Law and Order. This is going to take a while. Not as long as that sound effect took, but still a long time. McCarthy's not the only one who's deciding to forget how he felt on January 6th. So is Georgia Congressman and man whose smile is clinically depressed, Andrew Clyde. Last week, Clyde said this about Capitol rioters.
Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
Okay. But now a couple pictures on January 6th have surfaced. One shows the congressman barricading the door of the House chamber. Another shows his terrified reaction. But that could still be a picture of a tour guide. The gift shop's this way! Buy a magnet for your grandma! We're walking, and we're walking! Nowhere have Republicans held on to the big lie more fervently than the great state of Arizona, where state Senate Republicans hired a firm called Cyber Ninjas to do a non-official audit of Maricopa County. Among other things, the Cyber Ninjas conducted a forensic analysis of ballots to determine if the paper was made of bamboo in order to determine whether or not it came from China. Of course, all paper from China is made from bamboo, just like all the newspapers in Italy are printed on prosciutto. But now, even Republicans in Arizona are asking to get off the crazy train, because yesterday the Republican-dominated Maricopa County Board of Supervisors denounced the ongoing audit of the 2020 election vote as a sham and a con. It's the biggest con to come out of Arizona since they started saying, but it's a dry heat. Okay, Still 113 degrees out, which means it gets plenty humid around my flagstaff. If you catch my drift and my whiff. What put the Arizona GOP over the edge? Well, it may be the latest conspiracy theory, which is, and stick with me here, that in the 2020 election, state election officials shredded their ballots and fed them to chickens. That's right, chickens. Looks like this is a case of foul play. Okay. Maybe that's the last time. Okay. To recap, the Democrats fed the ballots to chickens. Perfect crime, right? Wrong. It gets perfecter because the chickens might squawk. The conspiracy theory says after they fed the ballots to the chickens, the officials then had the chickens incinerated to cover up the evidence. That makes perfect sense. You can't just burn paper. You need an accelerant, like chicken. Reminds me of the old joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because there was a furnace on the other side, and he'd just eaten a bunch of ballots and was helping the Democrats cover up their crimes. Chicken burners aren't the only whack jobs out there promoting election conspiracies. Last week, a group of former U.S. military leaders signed a bizarre open letter pushing election lies. It's kind of spooky. Military guys putting out a letter saying the election was stolen is the kind of thing that happens right before the junta starts buying mirrored sunglasses. But as shocking as this letter am, I was heartened by the name of one former military patriot who signed the letter, Rear Admiral Jack Meehoff. Jack Meehoff is a true American hero who served bravely in several solo missions where he beat off the enemy single-handedly. We all remember his heroics at the Battle of Strokanawa. Lost a lot of good seamen that day. He was awarded the Purple Heart-On, at which point he wasn't honorably discharged. He was fully released. Battle of the Bulge. Jack Meehoff is, I am just now realizing, a made-up name submitted by someone trying to prank these stupid retired fascists. But they didn't catch on. Instead, they published the name. After responding, thank you for your support. Your name will be added to the letter today. Thank you for standing tall. Yes! Rear Admiral Jack Meehoff stands tall, especially if he takes a certain medication 3 to 5 hours before he thinks he might need to salute. And this hero is following in the footsteps of great American pranksters. The Declaration of Independence is full of signatures like Beat Your Meat, Finger Blaster, and of course, John Hancock. And I want to take this moment to call on all members of the military, whether you're currently in action or having some orange juice before your next call of duty, to sign this letter using your definitely real name. I'm talking to you, Major Hardin, Captain Look at These Balls, Sergeant Reuben Juanout, Colonel Ann L. Beads, Private Willie Tugger, and of course, Field Marshal Buttstuff. Thank you for your self-service. Earlier today, President Biden toured a Ford factory that's making electric vehicles, and afterwards, he finagled himself a ride in the brand new, not yet released, all-electric Ford F-150.
Now, I don't know if anybody has a stopwatch, but I think if we're going 0 to 60 in about 4.3. 4.4? I'm just going to step on it. I'll come off at 80 miles an hour. You'll see what it is, okay? Okay, here we go. You ready?
See it, sir.
You ready?
Wow. That is cool. Normally, the only electric-powered vehicle someone of his age is piloting is a Jazzy at the casino. Now the aviator glasses make a little more sense because he just punched it. Unlike the last guy who was content making vroom vroom noises. In COVID news, there's less and less COVID news. Because thanks to vaccines, U.S. weekly deaths from COVID have fallen to the lowest rates in 14 months. Yes! Summer's almost here and it's finally safe to drink a six-pack and set off fireworks from our Sea-Doo. And I'll catch you up on the latest freedoms in tonight's The Vaccine.
Get
Last week, the CDC announced that vaccinated folks can hang out indoors in their birthday faces, buck-toothed naked. Now states are changing their rules, like here in the Big Apple. Tomorrow, New York will end most mask requirements for vaccinated people.
We have to get back to life and living, and we have to do it the way New Yorkers do it.
Yes, New York living. Crammed together on the subway, feeling a stranger's hand brush your butt, then turn around to see that it was just Governor Cuomo. Individual retailers are making their own decisions. Some are lifting mask mandates like Home Depot, Target, Walmart, and Starbucks. Wow, Starbucks will no longer require masks? That's huge. I'm sorry, that is venti. But some stores will want you to mask, like Walgreens, Rite Aid, Home Goods, and TJ Maxx. Well, I'm surprised about TJ Maxx. That's pretty restrained behavior for a store that sells throw pillows and off-brand salsa on the same shelf. So some stores require masks, some don't. Some states have mask mandates, others don't. It gets pretty confusing. So here's an easy mnemonic device to remember which states have recently relaxed their mask policies. Okay, here they are. Here's how to remember them. Why is pizza very delicious? Chris? Calories? No. Okay. Yay! Of course, the Y in yay stands for you should always consult mask policy signage at local retailers. Now, while the economy is bouncing back, some businesses are finding it harder than others, specifically pay-per-view booty, because strippers are back on the job, but COVID rules are hurting their pay. This isn't right. We need to support our frontline twerkers. Let's clap for them at 7 p.m. After all, they make it clap for us. Because of social distancing, strip club crowds are thinned out, prompting one stripper to say, "It's just not fun anymore." Well, that breaks my heart. I never thought I'd see a day when strip clubs would be depressing. Dancers are seeing less cash because premium strip experiences are still prohibited, like VIP rooms and lap dances. Oh, such a shame. After 14 months of quarantine, Americans' bodies are mostly lap. But even if you can't get a lap dance, there are still other reasons to hit the club. Because in Nevada, they've announced some Vegas strip clubs will be offering vaccines. Specifically, Larry Flint's Hustlers Club will offer vaccinations on Friday, May 21st, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's right, 4 p.m. For the first time in history, you can tell your loved ones, well, I'm off to the strip club in daytime because I'm acting responsibly. We've got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Morgan Freeman and Tig Notaro. But when we come back, meanwhile, join us.